Simple Life Prepper here. I'd like to welcome everybody and thank you for viewing the channel. Today we're going to be doing a dry can 3-bean chili mix for long-term storage. So stay tuned. So fill each jar with 1 cup of kidney beans in the bottom of the jar. Once you have done that, you can make a mixture of 2 tablespoons onion flakes and 1 teaspoon garlic powder and add that to each jar also. The next bean that we are going to add is pinto beans. We're going to put 1 cup of pinto beans in each jar on top of our kidney beans. Then our third bean that we are going to add will be a 1/2 cup of black beans. So add a 1/2 cup of black beans on top of your pinto beans and your kidney beans. Now once I had these all filled, I noticed that they weren't very full, and I had some open small red beans that I needed to dry can for long-term storage. So I added about a 1/2 cup of the small red beans to the top of this chili mix. So it actually made it a 4-bean chili mix instead of a 3-bean chili mix. I wanted to make sure that the jars were full. The last thing that we're going to add is going to be a 1/4 cup of chili powder. So put a 1/4 cup of chili powder in the top of each of the bean mixes. Once you have everything in the jars, we're going to put them into the oven for 1 hour at 250 degrees. So we turn up the temperature from the 175 earlier to 250, and we leave the jars in the oven for 1 hour. About 45 minutes into the time, we put the lids in just to get them heated up and ready to seal on top of our jars. So once we have taken all of our jars out of the oven from cooking, we're going to wipe each of the tops of the jars and make sure that they're clean, and then place a lid on top of each jar. We're just getting ready to seal all the jars up for long-term storage. You will notice that there are now 8 jars instead of 6. I had some open beans, so I wanted to go ahead and dry can them for long-term storage, so I just went ahead and filled up 2 more jars to get them all dry canned and ready to go. Then we will screw the lids on just hand tight on the top of the jars to get them started. Once we have done these hand tight, we're going to pick them up and make sure that we screw them on tight. We'll have to make sure that we use either a towel or a pot holder because the jars are very hot. But we will screw the lids on very tight, making sure not to burn ourselves. Once we have done that, we will wait for the jars to seal. It will take a while for them to cool off, but as they cool, the jars will start to seal and you'll hear the pop of each seal being sealed. So there you go. That's how you dry can a 3-bean chili mix for long-term storage. So whenever you get ready to have it, you just take your jar, you combine this jar of ingredients with 3 quarts of water, 2 pounds of cooked ground beef, 1 diced onion, 28 ounces of diced tomatoes, 8 ounces of tomato paste, and salt and pepper to taste. Let it simmer all together for 2 to 3 hours, and they will have a delicious chili for everybody to enjoy. So that is, the recipe will be in the description below for anybody that wants it. Until next time, remember, keeping it simple is not the same as doing nothing.